assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA, 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
Get it for less at the DIY Home Center outlet. Get top quality real wood cabinets the same or less than the big box stores are selling the cheap stuff. And that's not all. Drywall screws big box stores are $6.47 a pound. At DIY, only $4.99. Plus, DIY has the largest selection of mobile home parts and accessories anywhere. From carpet to doors, get the DIY supplies you need for less. The DIY Home Center outlet. We are your building material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
Well, this is a surprise. Hello, ladies. Welcome to the WOCA studios. Please, step right up and tell us who you are.
Tammy Griffin.
Connie Ann Pendleton.
Deborah Jenkins.
Cindy Brown.
Susan Schmitz.
Shauna Tanner.
Andrea Benitez.
April Savarese.
We are the Stiletto Network Group, a sub-networking group of the Ocala CEP.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Buffett. Save the Manatee Club has helped to protect imperiled manatees and their aquatic habitat for decades, but there's still more work to be done. Threats from cold weather, red tides, pollution, and boat collisions continue to take their toll on the manatee. So let's work together to safeguard the manatees and the places they call home. Be the friend they need. Visit SaveTheManatee.org. Thank you.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Monday, tomorrow, very important day in politics in this town as the runoff elections are being held. But right now, we're going to talk about the Marion County School Board and the meeting it had last Tuesday. 19 students faced expulsion, all involving incidents that happened on school grounds or school buses in the last 2 months. Now, remember, 2 months ago, 9 students were arrested in connection with the TikTok challenge that, saw destruction of school bathroom, hand dryers, soap dispensers, urinals, those kind of moronic things that kids did because, a TikTok challenge asked them to. The latest 19 students committed the most severe level 4 offenses. Under the Student Code of Conduct, that requires expulsion. The Student Code of Conduct, if you're not aware with it, is kind of spells out punishments for violations such as drugs, weapons, group fighting. That is the level 4 offenses. The children that were suspended, that were expelled, were only listed by number. They were not publicly listed by name. Although board member Eric Cummings said last Thursday, one student was expelled for selling drugs. That student was found with $100 cash and marijuana on them on school grounds. 2 others were expelled for vaping CBD, an oil derived from cannabis. Another was found in possession of a knife on school campus. And 15 others were expelled for roles in fighting, many times on school buses. Now, I know what you're thinking. Dadgum, Tom. 19 kids expelled at one time? I know, that seems like a large number. But that's the 43rd expulsion in just 60 days of the school year. That's right, 43 students have been thrown out in the 21-22 school year. There were 131 expulsions in 2016-2017 year, 111 in 2017-2018, 159 in 2018 to 2019. And so in the 3 years before the pandemic, the average was about 133, 134 kids a year expelled from Marion County schools. So basically, before the pandemic, it was 1.35 days of school for every time somebody got expelled. Right now in 2021, the per day rate is about the same. So here's the problem, though. A lot of times the worst behaviors happen in the second semester, and that begins in January. That could mean that this year could end up having an above average number of expulsions. This is not something the school board members took lightly. I will give them credit for that. They had a 25-minute open debate discussing their concerns. The consensus was the behavior of the expelled students warranted the expulsion. They must be punished. And this was, this was following the superintendent of schools, Diana Gullett's recommendation to expel the students through the 2021-2022 school year. The school board wanted the public, especially parents, to know that the recent students were granted educational services. In other words, yes, they're expelled from the schools they were attending, but they do have access to district alternative schools or online education services. So it's not like they just threw them out and said you can't go get education. There are options, but just not at the school they were expelled from. And by the way, 15 were for fighting bad enough on school buses and school grounds that they were expelled. You got to look. I know my way around a tussle. Okay, let's be honest. I have lived a lot of the years of my life knowing that I was not scared to stick my head into the middle of a physical altercation when it warranted it, in my opinion. Did it always warrant it? No, I was a hothead who beat people up for no reason. I thought it was warranted. Got many, many fights. Many. And when I say many, I'm not talking about 4 or 5, folks. But none rose to the level of being expelled ever. You got to be in a pretty serious fight. Well, I don't know about nowadays. When I was in school, you had to be in a pretty serious fight to even warrant expulsion. Weapons had to be used or something like that. Hit somebody with a rock or a chair or something like that. I never had to do that. But 15 of these kids were expelled for fighting. So that had to be pretty serious fighting on the school bus. And when you're fighting on the school bus, you endanger everybody on that school bus because the driver needs to drive. They don't need to worry about a fight going on as they're driving down the road. But one kid got expelled for bringing a knife on campus. Other kids got expelled. One kid for vaping CBD oil. I know it's not actually marijuana, but still, not even supposed to be smoking on campus. They're vaping CBD oil. And then the one kid got suspended because they were openly selling drugs on campus. You don't ever like to see, people thrown out. But it looks like these were warranted. Now, as Nancy Thrower read the 19 students using only numbers, new board member Don Browning asked, is there a reason why the number is so large? And can they get, in terms of the system, how in the world is this happening? And he said they should create an incentive plan to allow students back in school much sooner. Hell no. Sit out the year. Sorry about your damn luck. Real world problems, real world consequences. You're selling dope on a campus, you're lucky you have alternatives. You bring a knife on campus in this day and age where any kind of violence on campus is frowned upon. You bring a knife or a gun or something like that, that's a weapon. Sorry about your luck. See you next year. You got an alternative school or something else you can go to. And it just seemed to me that if Don Browning had done his homework, he'd have known that this was not a high expulsion year. He was recently appointed by the governor. How about do some homework, Don Browning? How about come prepared for a meeting? How about know about the agenda and what's going to be discussed so you don't have to ask questions like, why is the number so high? Well, if you go back and look at past history, the numbers are right on schedule. They're not higher than normal. They're not lower than normal. You know, you got the job, Don Browning. Do the work. Put the time in, the effort. Somebody goes, Tom, Don Browning's a powerful man in politics around here. Yeah, I don't care. You're now a school board member. Do your damn job. Prepare for the meetings. Too much to ask. You're making almost $60,000 a year. Put in some effort. Know what the hell's going on. Know that this is not out of the ordinary. Seems to be something going on here. That number's so large. Dr. Gullett, do you or any of the board members aware of how large that number seems? Yeah, because it's out on average with every year. Take a break. We'll be right back. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM. This is WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala.
As the USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Wisconsin has dispatched 500 National Guard troops, and hundreds of nearby police officers will also be available as a precaution to ensure public safety during the conclusion of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial